Tribology tutorial. Alright, question 1a. And therefore, surface engineering process aims to enhance the tribological function and aesthetic requirements. So the function implies that talking about the hardness of the thing, corrosion, prevent any corrosion, prevent any wear and tear. So the function of the surface is to prevent that. Alright. And the aesthetic requirements of the materials is talking about the glossing effect. Alright, whether is it nice looking, the colors, is it the color specifications, things like that. And therefore outlines the three processing categories given one example which. So the surface engineering process, if you remember, there is three processing categories, the Cat 1, Cat 2, Cat 3. Alright. And also discuss the main design considerations relating to coating of consumer products, including color, as we said just now. Okay, so let's answer the first part first. Alright, outline the three processing categories and giving one example each. Alright, so we will have the Cat 1. Alright, as stating it as they modified the surface without altering the chemistry. Alright, so in other words, alright, it's more on changing the face. Alright, but I don't think the lecturer got right. But so let's evaluate on the example because they want us to give one example each. Right, so therefore the example itself is a transforming hardening process. Maybe I should type that. So the transformation hardening, alright, is to strengthen the alloy by changing the phase using laser beam to produce martensitic type structure. Alright. Nonetheless, you can also create a ductile structure, alright, ductile and toughness and good toughness if you were to use the laser to control it about 600 degrees Celsius. This one is adding up. Alright, it's also in the slides. But this is because this is only the example, so you just simply write simple words. If they ask you to describe in a more detailed way, then you're going to draw the diagram. Alright, this is your substrate, alright, or your specimen, and then this is the laser. You heat it up this portion over here. So once you heat it up, this portion over here will be somewhat in the austenite region. Alright, and if you have to cool quickly, it will become martensite. Okay, that's the meaning of that. Okay, if you want to see the slide, it's actually in your page 36. Okay, you should also be able to draw this thing if happen that they ask you in a more detailed way. And take note that there will be introducing a phase change to a harder and stronger. Okay, and you also have a slow cooling at a lower temperature. Alright, at about 600 degrees Celsius for 2 hours, stabilize the structure and restore ductility and toughness. Okay, so if you want to talk about that, then you should talk about that, and it's applicable to carbon steel. I repeat again, carbon steel. And therefore, this is the first one, Cat 1. Alright, and we have only talked about one part only. So, name three processing categories, we only name the first one. So let's talk about the second one. The second one is the Cat 2 process, where you alter the chemistry of the surface region. Alright, and it's the anodizing. Alright, and therefore you need to also explain it well, such that it will give you a better thing. So over here, the Cat 2 is anodizing. Alright, it's an oxidation process. Alright, in which the surfaces of the substrate are converted to a hard and porous oxide layer that provide corrosion and wear resistance and decorative finish. Okay, and if you want to evaluate more, this is talking about other stuff. If they ask you to elaborate more, then you're going to talk about all these things, solution, alright, and if you want to draw the cathode and the anode also, alright, and you form this oxide layer, as you can see, alright, to protect against the corrosion and things like that. So over here, the cathode must be the one that is sending the oxygen, alright, sending the oxygen out. So this acid solution over here is to take out the oxygen and send it to your substrate, where you'll take in the thing and oxidize, and you'll create a porous oxide layer to protect against corrosion and wear. Okay, and then for there are also applicable stuff like aluminium and titanium are widely used for these things, so you should take note of these things also. And take note that anodized surfaces are good for adhesions, for paint and adhesive joints if you need it. Alright, so you need to take note of that, and then talk about the colors also. Alright, have various colors. With this process, you can have the various colors because your acid solution, alright, can put in different colors, so that you can also so-called dye dye your material. Okay, hopefully you are kind of clear. Next one is the Cat 3. Alright, it's a addition of layer to the surface. You can use spray painting and electroplating. So in fact, there are actually two examples. I don't know why he gives two examples. And he didn't explain the Cat 3, which the Cat 3 is a vapor depositions. Where over here, right, in fact, right, this thing over here is a bit like chemical reaction. I don't know why, but anyway. So over here, the metal is being evaporated or into this box over here, and it's being sprayed into this vacuum, this chamber. Okay, this chamber itself will be some vapors of the metal, so it's particles. So these particles will adhere onto the surface of your metal that you want, or your plastics or ceramic. They call it a substrate. So once you have this specimen being coated with all this vapor matter, then they will suck out through the vacuum, and therefore you have a layer of the protection against on top of your specimens over here. Okay, and therefore this is the vapor depositions. Alright, and you may want to take note of these things. Alright, I'll explain much details in other videos already, so I don't think I need to furthermore discuss. And I just want to highlight these things. Alright, so besides the transformation, hardening, or all these things that we have just said, alright, take note of all other techniques that I've also mentioned in other videos. Alright, in case that they may ask you to specify the number, give 3 examples of Cat 1 or give 3 examples of Cat 2. At least you know how many examples can you give. Alright, code definitions, pinning, sharp pinning, and things like that. So you can have many different methods of doing things. Okay, so take note of memorizing these things if you need, and if you want to understand or memorize, you can also do that. So next is that discuss main design considerations relating to coating of consumer products, including color specs. Alright, so we have cleared away the 3 categories. Let's talk about the main design considerations. If you remember, these are the following 7 points for design considerations. You may want to also, I don't know whether you need to explain or not, discuss main design considerations relating to coating of consumer products, including color specs. So you may want to also elaborate a bit. I think you need to discuss. Alright, where color specifications, you need to talk about what color you want. Alright, and what type of colors is available for manufacturing. Okay, if you were to go more in more details, it talks about the measuring color using Hunter. Alright, so it talks about, like for example, you have this yellow color, right, and this red color. If you add them together, it becomes orange. Right, or red, with blue, you add them, you become purple. So they use this type of it's called the H lab, Hunter lab. Yeah, Hunter lab is the software, I think. So it can help you to choose the color that you want. Right, but I think it's way too details to discuss over here. But nonetheless, you can talk about that. Then texture or roughness, you can elaborate on yourself. Alright, it's because the roughness itself will talk about how do I say, more friction. So do you want your surface to have more friction or less friction? Alright, so you need to talk about it. Alright, and gloss specifications, because people like things to be nice, look like metallic. So if you have a glossy effect, then the people will like the colors, things like that. And then type of substrate and surface to be coated. Alright, so the surface, if it's a what type of surface? If it's a, what's that called, anodized surface, or that's what we have say, then it is good for adhesive. Alright, so take note of that also. Then the shelf life, in case that a long time it may actually fail, like 1 year, after 1 year your paint drop off, or then very ugly, right? So we need to talk about that in terms of consumer products. Alright, in terms of cost and volumes also. Alright, adhesions of the coating, I think I've said just now. So the type of substrate and surface to be coated, you need to also know. So I think here, all in all, you somewhat understood what I mean, so you evaluate yourself. Alright, and yeah, I think this is it for tutorial question 1a. Alright, it's more on the theory side. So in total, this is 10 marks. If you happen that you can score, I think whatever I say in the design considerations, I think I can at least score about 8 marks in total. Alright, maybe 9 marks, I don't know, give you anyway, yeah. So next question is talking about equations already. So I shall see you in the next question 1b.